Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 19, 2023. As one of the most humble of contestants, his passion for music and developing a connection with his audience is first class. He has a unique tone, the famous long hair look, and throughout his Australian Idol journey, I saw a sense of matureness and a real gifting to be true to himself. He knows it, and I don't mind saying it. Sash was my absolute favorite, and it's mixed feelings having him here for a chat. Good to talk about his journey, but sad it was too soon. Sash Seabourne, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, mate. Devastated by you leaving sooner than expected, but so proud of your achievement. Do you have your own mixed feelings about not making it to the top eight?
I would have liked to have gone another round, but I guess it's kind of classy to leave early. I got on my phone this morning and there was a bunch of Instagram comments that were like, I'd like to report a robbery and all this sort of stuff. So look, at the end of the day, if I had to pick who was going home last night, I would have said that it was my time. And, the standard of singers is really high and those guys can all really bring it in that space and on that stage. And I personally found that while this was a great learning experience for me and I have grown a lot through doing it was never really the place where I can be my full thing and shine and do give my 100%. So I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to give that 100% in the coming year.
Do you think you stayed true to your sound throughout your Australian Idol journey, or did you try and mix it up a little bit to show your range and different sides?
Yeah, look, I think having some versatility in this competition is important, and I definitely brought the electric guitar out and tried to do some more rocky numbers through the different weeks to show that I have a range. Uh, I think the last week with doing In the Air Tonight was kind of a full circle moment of going back to, classic songs and reworking them with that acoustic, folky arrangement, which I think is my strong point, and that's kind of what my records sound like. So it's reflective of who I am as an artist. I think ultimately that's what I miss the most, and I'm looking forward to going back to that sort of part. I'm proud of making it as far as I have, but I think the thing I'm most proud of is definitely staying honest through this whole process and journey. And the person that you saw on that stage is definitely the person I am in my real life. So I'm proud to have stayed true to myself.
You have that real juxtaposition, though, being an absolute stage performer, which takes super amounts of confidence, but then such an almost shyness in your demeanour. Are you a confident or shy away from the stage?
I wouldn't say that I'm a shy person, like I think I have definitely two sides to me. Like there is a kind of wild and more extroverted performance side that comes out, and that gives me an emotional release that's really important for me. But then in my personal life, I am somewhat more chill and reserved. I think the demeanor that people saw in me on Idol was someone who's like just very cautious and very wary of the environment around me because I had, I think Idol gives a great platform to people and they can be fantastic, but it also can definitely lead an artist into a humiliating place or kind of like looking like an idiot on TV. So I was always just hyper cautious to make sure that I was being portrayed in a way that was true to myself, and hopefully in a positive light. So like I never felt like I was able to kind of open up and give on the Idol stage because I just come from a different world, from a different side of the tracks, and uh, that's not a criticism of the show. That's just who I am, and
Mm.
I always felt like kind of coming from a different planet and being dropped into the middle of this commercial machine was. I've always felt like a bit of the odd one out in the top 12.
Mm. There was a whole thing about, the smiling thing or the lack of. I
Yeah.
believe you mentioned about your childhood about that, like you didn't smile a lot, and there was. Tell me about growing up. Was there a lack of confidence and that smiling? Did that come from something that occurred in your life, or where's that connection between smiling and growing up?
I mean, I had a tough time growing up as a teenager. I was in a small town in Western Australia and it was rough. So where I went to school, I used to get in fights and I got bullied a lot for being overweight or being a loner or whatever. So it's wild when you kind of hit your 20s and you realize how those self-esteem issues that you get in your teenage years can really carry into adulthood. And um, I've always felt like music is my outlet where I can express myself and relate to people in a way that I can relate better than just with words. And so that's why I feel so compelled to do songwriting, and that's why it's such an essential part of who I am. So, you know, I definitely feel, I guess, guarded in my persona, and it's not always easy for me to emote or be vulnerable or give to people in a one-on-one conversational way, or the way that I kind of present myself as a person when I'm talking, just because I guess I've been hurt before, and that's something that I'm still working on as an adult, of just learning to be a bit more giving and less self-deprecating, I suppose. But music was always that outlet for me, and I think a lot of songwriters are kind of dysfunctional people in their personal life, and that's why we gravitate towards this thing. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely that hurt 14-year-old coming out in my 24 or 5-year-old self.
It's a beautiful thing though, that even though that happened to you, I mean, look at you now. You actually used that as an outlet to for your music and stuff like that. And you know, where are those people now?
Probably, I don't know, still in Margaret River, man, working at Chicken Treat or something.
Probably. Look, you certainly have a unique voice which really makes you stand out.
Hmm.
What sound are you looking for, like, moving forward? Is it, I mean,
Hmm.
because you could go pop and country, even soft rock.
Yeah, like I think I have that like a huskier kind of smokiness in my upper register, and I'm definitely a lyrics driven singer, so I love songwriters music and trying to be lyrically driven. So I think really I'm ready to kind of do some acoustic music, man. I would love to put a record out this year that's more in that, I suppose, Ben Howard, Zach Bryan sort of direction. I love writing stuff that's honest and confessional, and doing it in an acoustic way is really intimate and really shows who you are. I've always kind of gone for a bigger production and had a backing band with me, and done kind of like a folk slash rock thing with the electric guitar. And I think I would love to be a bit of a troubadour this year. I really see myself going the same route as, say, Kim Churchill or Ziggy Alberts, or one of the other kind of long-haired surfing folk musicians of Australia, without being a stereotype. But I think I can find something original in that, and there's something beautiful about kind of touring to live rather than just touring for money. You're touring because you live to play music, and music is your life, but you're also touring to go and just visit Exmouth because it's amazing and we're going to go swimming, and that's why we're going to Exmouth. I kind of want the rest of my year to be that. And I actually think I'm much better at doing that and being a grassroots sort of music career that grows slowly and has longevity, and would love to have enough fans to pay the rent, but I don't need to be on the cover of magazines or be someone that is airbrushed and spray tanned and all the things that come with TV. I've definitely kind of stepped away from that and gone, that's not who I am. I just want to make music for real people and connect with real people face to face, because I got so much out of music and was such a music fan growing up that it's important for me to try and give that to other people.
Well, there definitely is a space for everyone. I mean, when I interviewed JC, I mean, he wants to go on like Eurovision and like do the whole big production thing. But there's also a space for people that just want that sound. It's like someone's they're at a beach, with a fire, and someone's playing a guitar and singing a song, and just having that kind of sound that they want to listen to, in their car going to work. And it's great that people do have their different spaces. Hey.
Music is such a big industry, and even as a career as an artist, people's job description is so different that I think that's one cool thing about being on Idol, is like everyone in that top 12 is so on a different planet musically. Like none of us are really intersecting or trying to copy each other's thing, or getting jealous of one another because we're all trying to be the best version of ourselves. And that is totally like, I would never try and do what Royston does because I don't listen to what he listens to. And I can appreciate him from like a place of detachment because I'm not trying to do that. And I'm trying to do my own thing. So, that career that he's going to have will be completely different to the career that I'm going to have. And, music it's a very big world to find your feet in. And you just got to know who you are and what you want as an individual. That's the bottom line.
All right, let's just tick one thing off about some of the comments from the judges. And we're talking about the pitchiness comments. Were you aware of pitchiness in your performance, or do you agree with the judges' comments?
I totally do. Yeah. I mean, they're on point. I think what was very frustrating about the Idol experience for me was I would do sound checks at the beginning of the day where you're playing on that stage in an empty room. And I felt like I was singing on point, like my vocals were strong and I was happy with them and I was definitely in tune. Like Harry has said, I can hear, I know when I'm in or out. But being on Australian Idol is like a 12-hour day that boils down to 90 seconds where you get on stage and one single note that is out, you don't get a second shot at that. So I really felt like when I had the cameras and the judges in my face and all these different really artificial elements that were kind of between me and the crowd, that was unnatural for me and very uncomfortable. And I found it quite overwhelming. I was disappointed with most of my vocal performances because I knew that it wasn't my best or what I was capable of or what my potential is. So I'm willing to admit that, and I don't think I ever thrived in the Idol environment, but I know that I was real and the person that people saw in that and what my potential is. Like if those followers continue to follow me and stay on this journey with me, they'll see, me reach that potential and get to that 100%. And I can't wait to show people something I'm proud of.
Absolutely. Look, I'm speaking to all the eliminated contestants. So I've started a poll to see who ends up being right. So 2 questions, purely from a betting perspective, and guessing what the Australian public will do. Who do you think will win Australian Idol? And then secondly, who would you like to win Australian Idol?
That's a better question than I've been asked today, because some people have been saying it's better to split them up into 2. I think Royston will win because I've been in the room with him, but I've also seen the army of fans that he's accumulating. He's someone that is still at the beginning of his journey, like all of us, but people are really like mobilizing, getting around him because they want to see this guy on the big stage forever. Like the level of support is wild. It just going viral and thousands of people getting involved. And like when you play in the room and you're on that stage, you can hear the crowd light up when anyone calls Royston's name. So I want him to win, and I think that he deserves it, and he's a phenomenal singer and a great fit for what Idol's looking for. So I wish him all the best, and we have strong mutual respect of each other. So I do wish him all the best. Who I would like to see win that's a different question. To that question, I would say Josh. He's someone that I've become really close friends with in the last couple of weeks, and we're both songwriters and we like similar music, so we were always going to be close. The first time I ever met him, we were on a group performance together and we did Landslide in that chorus line, and I remember being in a room with him and Piper, and we had acoustic guitars out, we were playing around, and he just started singing. It was the first time, it was probably the only time in the competition where someone just started singing in front of me and my jaw dropped and I was just mind blown. Like I think Josh is, for one, a really special vocal talent, but he's also got a beautiful nature about him. He's very charismatic and he's a beautiful person. So there's all of that, and he's also young and at the beginning of his journey. So he's like a blank canvas, and if you wanted to like build an Australian Idol petri dish and create what they're looking for, I would say he's exactly that. He's like ready to go on this journey where he transforms into something, and everything about getting his look changed and getting the music change around him, he's been really receptive to, because he's ready to transform and mold into something. And I'm a little bit further down the road, and I know what I want to be, and I think I've gone through that transformation on my own, and I didn't want someone to mess with that because I knew what was true to me. So, you know, we have a strong mutual respect and admiration for each other, because I think he, you know, looks up to my work ethic, and I have a really positive attitude about music. But I look at him and just go, he is the raw spark. You know, that guy is got a future. We all kind of have a future ahead of us, but that guy is going to be one to watch. I can't wait to see what he does with his life.
Oh, what beautiful words. Where can people follow you on the socials?
Just the internet, dude. Sash Seabourne. Just you know, all the socials are just at Sash Seabourne. And to stream the music, I have a few songs out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your tunes. Yeah, just keep in touch. I reckon there'll be new music coming out for me as early as May, and then there'll be definitely an extensive tour around that. I think for me, I feel it in my bones that my calling in life and my immediate journey in front of me is getting out in front of real people, and whether that's 15 people or 1,500 people like last night, it's about playing real music for real people, and I feel very compelled to do this. I don't think that it would be possible for me to do anything else. So expect to see me around a lot, man. I'm definitely here to stay.
Absolutely. And we're in the same town, so it won't be far for me to come and see you.
Yeah, keen.
You are such a kind-hearted and humble guy. And I say, you know, if you want to smile, smile. If you don't want to smile, then don't. I'm confident you can continue to be who you are, and lead with your truth and your beautiful tone, and you'll do super well. Good luck with the next chapter, Sash, and thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate your time. Thanks, man.
Sash, what a legend. See you back in Perth soon. Sash Seabourne, there from the top 10 of Australian Idol. The next performance show is Sunday, the 12th of March at 7 p.m. And then another 2 contestants will be eliminated on Monday, the 13th of March at 7:30 p.m. on 7 and 7 Plus. TV Central will be chatting to all of the top 12 contestants. That's all for this episode. For all the latest news, podcasts, streaming info, guides, and ratings, head to tvcentral.com.au. Until next time, I'm Aaron Ryan. Thanks to Sash Seabourne. Bye for now.